Yo y'all, this is Wasabi7, and today I'm going to show you one of my all-time favorite games in the world, Heroes of Might and Magic 4, Complete Edition. Not only does this masterpiece of a game have the sexiest pikeman ever, but it was also the least liked version of the Heroes of Might and Magic series before these companies went bankrupt and Ubisoft made sequels shittier than Diablo 3, effectively running the entire whole MAM series into the ground. Fortunately for me, the only fan in the world of this game, GOG, formerly known as Good Old Games, somehow got the rights to the game and slapped it up on their store for a measly $10, complete with both expansions. So what is this game? Well, it's a turn-based city-building strategy game. And look, I know what you're thinking. Isaac, buddy, pal, turn-based and good? Oxymorons. Impossible. Well, that's usually my outlook on it too, but along with a very few other games, this is one of the only good turn-based ones out there. Heroes 4, as I'll be referring to it from now on, is set after an event called the Reckoning, in which two uber-powerful swords clash and destroy the world in the same way that a big rock destroyed the dinosaurs. From this point, people open up portals to another world, the world that you plan. The campaigns within the game all take place a generation or so after the Reckoning. There are 6 campaigns, each campaign having you play one of the 6 factions: Haven, Necropolis, Chaos, Nature, Might, and Order. Necropolis is the best by far because they have a building that you can get called an Undead Transformer that lets you build an armada of skeletons super early in the game. If you foolishly choose another faction, though, you have to find resources to build units and buildings that help support or create them. Resources can be found throughout the map, or gained from mines that are usually guarded by neutral enemies, but oftentimes can be acquired through side quests. This game is way more centric on combat than anything else, so much so, in fact, that there's no other way to win than conquering everybody else's city. In fact, no, that's not even true. After you capture everyone's city, you literally have to hunt down all their heroes and kill them before you can win. Heroes, as the name implies, are one of the biggest parts of the game. There are 2 starting classes for each faction that a hero can be, even more that you can change a hero into depending on your skills. Heroes start off pretty shitty, only being able to deal next to no damage or have a measly 2 spells or so, but later on in the game they can become close to unstoppable. Unless of course they fight a black dragon, since they have more hit points than any creature in the game and are 100% immune to magic. Anyway, the combat in this game is set up kinda like chess. Once a fight starts, one person can decide to move a unit, attack someone, or use a spell. A creature's strength is determined not just by the creature, but how many of them there are. While it looks like there's not a lot of units here, there's actually an entire army. Each unit has a number above their head, identifying how many of them in the army that are present. The more there are, the more damage they do, and the more hits they can take. Let me give you an example. Remember the black dragon I told you about? Well, here's an army of 20,000 skeletons ready to punch its ticket. Skeletons only have 8 hit points and deal 1 to 2 damage, while the dragon here has 400 HP and does 55 to 110 damage, and can hit multiple units at a time. However, because this lone wolf of a magical reptile decided it was smart to attack an army of skeletons as big as Oregon City, he got bodied. Battles in this game tend to be rather slow, but they are glorious. You can be kicking somebody's ass at first, but if they have the know-how, they can figure out your weaknesses and turn the tide. Battles always mean a lot, since a vast majority of the power a player wields is how big their army is. The other bits are where you place your army and how your economy is like. For example, if you leave a city utterly defenseless, someone can just stride in and take it. On the other hand, yeah, that's a lot of skeletons. Another strong point in this game is how it feels. It does indeed feel like a fantasy, as the genre would imply, from the amazing textures and the outstanding music. Take a look at some of them. The best part about the music in this game is that it never gets old. It is so hard for music to do that, but somehow every track in the game is gold. There's a lot of opera for the cities, though. So if you don't like that, you might be inclined to turn the music down before building something. I guess the reason I like this game so much is because the concept is really good. It's executed fantastically, and the story to go with it is just as. This game feels like a perfect mix of Civilization and StarCraft, but with the simplicity of Risk. It's got enough content to last hours and hours with its 6 campaigns that are all pretty decently long, a plethora of storyless and storyful scenarios, and a website called The Celestial Heavens that holds a huge amount of user-made content as well. I've even made a couple maps myself with a campaign editor that comes for free with the game. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe to join the Chorus Rebellion. If you have any suggestions for other games that I should review, or games that I should play, then don't hesitate to leave a comment. I also have a donation link in the description below, so if you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. That's about it. See ya! Oh, and I did forget to mention that there are cheat codes in the game that turn your heroes into rock stars or old men with ridiculously large slingshots. So that's another reason to buy it. That's worth $10.